T and his son King Harris have been stuck in one headline after another. But this time King stepped way out of bounds, somewhere nobody expected him to go. The internet is absolutely on fire over what King Harris said about 50 Cent's late mother, and now everyone's asking the same question. Did T.I. really step in and grab King by the neck on camera after King potentially put the whole family at risk? Let's break down every single detail of what went down between King Harris, T.I., and 50 Cent to really understand what King Harris did and why T.I. and reportedly put hands on him. You have to rewind to the beginning, and the beginning starts with the Versus situation between T.I. and 50 Cent that's been quietly brewing for months. T.I. and 50 Cent have been trading shots for a while now, and it all traces back to a Versus challenge that still hasn't been answered. This isn't some random new beef. These two have history, and the tension over a possible Versus battle has been building since early February 2026. The back and forth between 50 Cent and T.I. flared up again on Sunday, February the 22nd, when Tip appeared on the $1 Million Worth of Game podcast and addressed the topic of doing a Versus with 50 Cent, a subject that has already caused friction between the two rap heavyweights. T.I. did not hold back during that interview. He explained that the matchup wasn't about competing in a negative way. According to him, it was about celebrating each other's catalogs. He said he and 50 had already discussed it, that he didn't randomly throw the challenge out there. He claimed this wasn't out of nowhere, that they had even been moving around Los Angeles together, selling shows. In T.I.'s version of events, there was a clear plan. The two rappers talked about the Versus. They agreed on it. T.I. was supposed to mention it publicly, and then 50 was expected to respond. That was the understanding. That was the script. But what happened next didn't follow that plan at all. When T.I. brought it up publicly, he alleges that 50 Cent suddenly acted confused. T.I. said, "Now I question your character. Just say you don't want to do it." He made it clear he felt played. He later doubled down, saying he lost all respect for 50 when he allegedly backed out of the proposed Versus battle that was supposed to spotlight both of their catalogs. There was no gray area in his tone. He used those exact words. He lost respect. Now, 50 Cent is 50 Cent. If you know anything about him, you know he doesn't let public shots slide, and he rarely responds quietly. Beyond his sharp lyrics, 50 is known for his relentless online trolling. And if you've watched his past beefs, you already know the pattern. Bring up family, spark chaos, and let social media do the rest. That's exactly where this situation started to shift. The feud reignited earlier in February after T.I. confidently said he could take 50 out in a Versus battle. 50 made it clear he had no interest in doing Versus, and that's when things escalated. In an Instagram comment, 50 called Tip King rat. T.I. didn't let that slide. He clapped back saying, "You playing on my name when only one of us a rat in real life. You know I got your paperwork right and my transcript is available online. Your excuses is useless. Get your ass in the box or SDFU and live in fear. You soft son, you've lost my respect." So now we've got T.I. calling 50 Cent soft. We've got 50 Cent implying T.I. is a snitch. The insults are flying, but up until this point, it's still just between the two rappers. Then 50 made a move that completely shifted the energy after T.I. Comments started circulating. 50 Cent posted a photo of Tiny Harris on his Instagram, seemingly mocking her, and that's when everything took a turn. 50 didn't just keep it between him and T.I. anymore. He redirected the beef straight toward T.I.'s wife. On Sunday, 50 Cent shared a photo of Tiny performing on stage, and that single post changed the temperature of the entire situation. He captioned the photo, "I keep saying, keep my name out your mouth, okay? Now let's be clear, posting an unflattering picture of someone's wife goes way beyond normal rap sparring. That's not just music talk anymore. That's personal. That's family. And once you make it about family, you're stepping into territory you might not be ready for." 50 Cent pushed that door wide open, but the first person to walk through it wasn't T.I. It was his 21-year-old son, King Harris. The post instantly started trending. It didn't take long for King Harris to respond, but it wasn't just that he defended his mother. It was how he did it that has the entire internet buzzing, because King didn't simply clap back. He went somewhere almost nobody expected. 50 Cent lit the match, and now he's catching heat from King Harris, the 21-year-old son of T.I. and Tiny. On Sunday, February the 22nd, the aspiring rapper jumped on his Instagram stories with an explicit, profanity-heavy rant after the 50-year-old mogul shared that unflattering image of Tiny during his escalating online feud with T.I. King got on camera. He recorded himself, and he directed every word straight at 50 Cent DIS son. King Harris unleashed a fiery rant aimed at 50 after the rapper posted that photo of his mom. In the profanity-laced video, King repeatedly brought up 50 Cent's late mother, telling him to post a picture of her grave instead of speaking on his mom. Let that sink in. King Harris, 21 years old, went on social media and directly referenced the deceased mother of one of the most powerful figures in hip-hop and entertainment. 50 Cent's mother, Sabrina Jackson, passed away in 1983 under circumstances that have never been fully resolved. Her death was considered a suspected homicide. Authorities believe someone drugged her and left her unconscious in her apartment before setting it on fire. Despite the suspicious details, no one was ever arrested, and her killer has never been identified. 50 Cent was just 8 years old when his mother was killed. Losing her during those formative years had a deep impact on him. Over the decades, he has spoken openly about how that loss shaped his mindset and hardened him. He once said someone put something in her drink and turned the gas on, and he admitted that growing up, whenever something went wrong, he would think, if my mother was here, it wouldn't be like that. That is the subject King Harris chose to target. King blasted 50 Cent online after the rapper trolled Tiny by posting the unflattering image. In response, King brought up Sabrina Jackson in a lengthy video rant that quickly spread across platforms, and he didn't stop there. King took to his Instagram story and shared an image of a headstone, writing, "This where your mama at." He also posted another headstone bearing the name Sabrina Jackson and added F*******U, bit******, A*****, and dig up your mama. So yes, King posted tombstone images. He appeared to reference the actual gravesite of 50 Cent's mother. He told 50 to go dig up his deceased mother. He told him to go put flowers on her grave. And within minutes, the clips were screen recorded, reposted, and circulating across every major social media platform. Raindrops Media even posted on X that King Harris had entered the chat and told 50 Cent to dig up his deceased mother and post a picture of her gravesite. After 50 Cent shared the photo of Tiny amid the ongoing T.I. feud, the internet's reaction was split. Some people understood King defending his mom, but most of the conversation centered on just how far he went. A lot of fans said King crossed a serious line. They argued there's a difference between defending your mother and attacking someone else's late mother, and that line, many believe King stepped right over it. Now, here's where things get even more interesting. Everyone expected 50 Cent to fire back hard. People thought he would go nuclear. But instead, 50 did what 50 does best. He treated the whole situation like it was comedy. Meanwhile, T.I. publicly stood behind his son and criticized 50 Cent, while 50 appeared completely unbothered by the attacks. And that right there is what made this whole situation even more dangerous for the Harris family. Because when 50 Cent doesn't react, it's not because he's finished. It's because he's thinking, calculating, waiting. The back and forth between 50 Cent and T.I. has now even pulled in a certain infamous amphibian. On Sunday, 50 shared an image of Pepe the Frog on his ever-active Instagram page. The G-Unit film and television founder didn't directly tag anyone, didn't spell anything out, but he didn't have to. Fans instantly flooded the comments with their own assumptions. Then 50 doubled down. He posted a frog face meme with a simple caption, "Lol, that's it." That was his response to King Harris telling him to dig up his deceased mother. A frog meme and lol. And if you know 50 Cent, you know that might be more intimidating than any angry rant, because 50 isn't known for forgetting. He's known for keeping score. This isn't even the first time 50 has gone back and forth with a rapper's son. King Harry's now joins the list after 50's 2026 tension with Christian King Combs, the son of Diddy. So this isn't new territory for him. He's handled this type of situation before, and his strategy usually involves patience and precision. Meanwhile, T.I. responded to 50's original post about Tiny. In the comments, T.I. fired back, basically saying you can post whatever you want, no matter how outrageous, you're still a clown. The message was loud and clear. T.I. also took to his Instagram stories. Shortly after 50's post about his wife, he wrote, "You can't win being a good man, a good dad, and a good person." That message seemed reflective, maybe directed at himself, maybe at King, a moment of reassurance in the middle of pure chaos. And then T.I. did what seasoned rappers do. he went to the studio. He previewed what sounds like a diss track clearly aimed at 50 Cent in the snippet of the DJ Tomp-produced record, reportedly titled War. T.I. made it obvious he's not playing. The preview runs about 100 seconds and could be part of a longer version expected to appear on his final album, Kill the King, which is slated for release later in 2026. So T.I. is channeling the feud into music. He captioned the snippet with something along the lines of, "Oh, you want war? Bet we on that." A clear tease, but here's the issue. While T.I. was handling this like a veteran, bars, captions, strategy, King was moving differently. King was on Instagram telling 50 Cent to dig up his dead mother, and that's not strategy, that's a liability. Because 50 Cent isn't just a rapper anymore. He's a television mogul. He runs Gay Unit Film and Television. He has major industry connections. He has resources. He has reach. And he has a track record of publicly applying pressure when he feels like it. All of this originally sparked over a potential versus battle that 50 allegedly avoided. From there, both sides started throwing around accusations about snitching, with T.I. posting what he claimed were receipts. So now you've got accusations flying in both directions, personal jabs, old paperwork talk. And on top of that, King bringing up a man's deceased mother. At that point, this stops being simple entertainment beef. The stakes shift. According to his latest Instagram activity, 50 Cent laughed off King Harris's comments about Sabrina Jackson with a simple lol under the frog meme. But just because someone laughs publicly doesn't mean it's over. Everyone watching understands that, and the person who likely understands it most is T.I. Because T.I. knows 50 Cent. He knows how he moves, he knows 50 doesn't forget, and he doesn't let things slide. And now his 21-year-old son has handed 50 something bigger than rap lyrics to work with. Now, the title of this video says, "I grabbed King Harris by the neck on camera." And to understand why people even believe that's possible, you have to look at the history between father and son. This isn't the first time T.I. and King have had a physical moment on camera, not even close. Back in November 2023, during an Atlanta Falcons game, the world got an unfiltered look at the Harris family dynamic. T.I. performed during the Atlanta Falcons' 50th anniversary of hip-hop celebration, and what started as a family moment almost turned into something much more serious inside their suite at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. After the performance, T.I. and King were going back and forth. It started playful, but it escalated quickly. What triggered it? King became frustrated after his parents, Tameka Tiny Harris and T.I., laughed at his claim that he had been in the streets, despite growing up with privilege. King was born into a successful household, and the comment didn't sit right with them. The moment was happening live. King was on Instagram Live, broadcasting everything. "You're embarrassing yourself and your family," T.I. told him more than once. Then things turned physical. T.I. moved closer to his visibly upset son, and a brief struggle appeared to break out between them inside the suite. Again, T.I. repeated, "You're embarrassing yourself and the family." And that's why, when rumors started circulating about T.I. allegedly grabbing King by the neck during this latest situation, people didn't dismiss it outright, because the public has already seen tension between them before. T.I. "Get off me," King can be heard saying as T.I. appears to grab him, but it doesn't calm down. One Harris squares up, the other pushes back harder. At least that's how it sounds on the audio. The camera shakes, there's a loud thud, and the phone goes flying as if the two are actually tussling inside the suite. After the brief scuffle, T.I.'s voice cuts through clearly. He asserts himself. He's heard saying, "Boy, you can't do nothing with me. Ain't nothing you can do with me." The moment went viral almost instantly. Once the clip made its rounds, King jumped on his Instagram story with a series of cryptic messages, posts that were later deleted. He wrote things like, "I stand on business, don't give a who you are." Another reads something along the lines of, "If I make mistakes, say it. Stop making the world think I fear you when I don't." The tone was defiant, direct, not apologetic. According to at least one outlet, T.I. had King in a headlock during that Atlanta Falcons incident. Reports described it as a heated argument between T.I., Tiny Harris, and King inside the stadium suite, with T.I. physically restraining his son while King was still streaming live. So this isn't a new dynamic. This is a father who has, on camera, grabbed his son during an emotional confrontation before. Back in 2023, T.I. told King he was embarrassing the family. And the language he used back then is almost identical to what many believe he would say now. Because what King just did doesn't just reflect poorly, it potentially places the entire Harris family in the spotlight of someone who has the power, platform, and patience to escalate. And that's not the only issue surrounding King. In 2024, King Harris was arrested in Georgia due to an open warrant tied to a 2022 case involving speeding, driving with a suspended license, and a DUI-related matter. The arrest reportedly happened after he nearly collided with a police vehicle while exiting a gas station. Beyond that, there have been more serious accusations surrounding the family as a whole. T.E. and Tameka Tiny Harris have faced renewed scrutiny following claims from longtime critic Sabrina Peterson. In her social media posts, Peterson accused the Harrises of taunting alleged survivors and claimed, "The feds already have this. I think the fans need it." She also shared alleged text exchanges between King Harris and a young woman described as trafficked, stating that the girl's family had contacted her legal team out of concern. T.I. and Tiny have consistently denied all allegations, describing them as malicious fabrications. The bigger picture here is this: T.I. is not operating in isolation. His family's reputation has already been under pressure from multiple angles. His son has a history of public outbursts, and now that same son has given 50 Cent, someone who thrives in public conflict, an opening. Given what we've already seen between father and son, the idea of T.I. grabbing King by the neck on camera doesn't feel far-fetched to some viewers. It aligns with past behavior. It fits a pattern. So where does this leave everyone? Let's break down the current situation. 50 Cent and T.I. are in the middle of a heated feud. It started with the Versus discussion. It escalated into snitching accusations when 50 posted a photo of Tiny. King fired back by telling 50 to dig up his deceased mother. 50 responded with a frog meme and a simple lol.ti, previewed a diss track titled War, and the internet has been watching every second. Meanwhile, Tiny Harris, the woman at the center of this, has remained silent. She hasn't publicly commented on the beef between T.I. and 50 Cent. She hasn't addressed her son's response either. And that silence speaks volumes. It could mean she's choosing to stay above it. It could mean she's unhappy with how King handled things. Or it could simply mean she's waiting for everything to cool off. Either way, her quiet presence stands in sharp contrast to the noise around her. The diss track T.I. previewed, War, doesn't directly mention 50 Cent by name, but many fans assume it's connected to their ongoing conflict. If nothing else, it gives a glimpse of what might be coming on Kill the King, widely expected to be T.I.'s final album. So T.I. is turning tension into music, something seasoned artists know how to do. But King is 21. And going after a man's deceased mother, posting images of her gravesite, telling that man to dig her up, that's not a small move. That's the kind of action that lingers, the kind that creates long-term enemies. And let's not forget who 50 Cent is. He's known for stirring the pot. He's built a brand around strategic trolling, and right now, he's locked in a bitter online battle with T.I. and his family. 50 Cent has clashed with some of the biggest names in hip-hop over the last 20 years. He's gone at Ja Rule, Rick Ross, The Game, Floyd Mayweather, Diddy, and in almost every single scenario, 50 outlasted, out-trolled, and outmaneuvered the beef on his terms. He runs an empire, producing content, creating shows, and closing deals across Hollywood. He doesn't need to rush. He can afford to be patient, calculated, and precise. And make no mistake, this T.I. and 50 Cent beef isn't going away anytime soon. These are two artists too proud to ever let things simmer quietly, and then King Harris poured gasoline on the fire. Let's break down the family dynamics. King is the eldest of T.I. and Tiny Harris's 3 children, which also includes 17-year-old Major Fan and 9-year-old daughter, Aries Deanna Harris. Deanna Harris DITI also has 3 kids from a previous relationship, Messiah Your Majesty, Damani Uriah, and Deja Emily Harris. Meanwhile, Tiny is mom to Zanik Pullins, a daughter from her previous relationship. That's a big family, and when King goes on Instagram and makes the comments he did, he's not just speaking for himself, he's representing the entire household. Every sibling now has to deal with the fallout from King's actions. Every family member is linked to those remarks about 50 Cent's mother. That's why this is bigger than a simple rap feud. T.I. has a pattern of stepping in when King embarrasses the family. He did it before. At the 2023 Falcons game, for instance, grabbing him, telling him he was embarrassing himself and the family, even putting him in what was described as a headlock on Instagram Live after King's comments about 50 Cent's late mother. The idea that T.I. might grab King by the neck on camera. It's not shocking. It's consistent with past behavior. It's the next logical step in a pattern that's been building for years. So what comes next? 50 Cent's lull is far from the end. It's just the beginning. Fifth likely won't respond on record, or at least we don't think he will. Whether T.I.'s diss track war expands into a full release is still up in the air. Here's what's clear. T.I. and 50 Cent had a beef between two seasoned men with decades of music history. Then King Harris inserted himself, and in doing so, took things to a level that could have consequences beyond Instagram rants and memes. He brought a deceased woman's name into a public fight, posted images of her gravesite, and did it all on camera for the world to see, seemingly without considering who else might get caught in the crossfire. T.I. has every reason to be furious, not because King defended his mom, that part is understandable, but because of how he defended her. The method King chose exposed the family, gave 50 Cent more ammunition, and made headlines for all the wrong reasons. It put a target on the backs of people who didn't ask to be involved. This is what happens when someone crosses a line in a public feud. The fight stops being just about the two people who started it and spreads to everyone around them. T.I. knows this. He's been in the game for over 2 decades. He knows what 50 Cent is capable of, and he knows his son just handed 50 a gift that could be used however and whenever he wants. So yes, T.I. grabbing King Harris by the neck on camera after King put the family in danger. It tracks with everything we know about this family, this feud, and these two men. The fallout from King's comments is just getting started. Whether T.I. King and D-Chard can contain the damage or whether 50 Cent will continue to exploit it remains to be seen. But one thing is certain, the next chapter of this saga is only getting started.